All right, guys, today, no learning. Whiteboard is naked as can be. No book reviews neither. Today, we are doing a book unboxing. I have ordered numerous books from bookoutlet.com, and we are going to go through these books. I'm going to show you what I have ordered, and in the comments below, if you have read these books, I want you to tell me what you thought of them, or if you read books from these authors before, let me know what you think of them. But let's get to it. Let's have some fun today. So I've ordered two different orders from Book Outlet, but 3 boxes have come in. My second order was really large, so they had to send 2 boxes. Let's go through box number 1. I tried to change things up this time and not order books from authors I've read before, but I kind of cheated. There were some authors I just can't pass up. So you're going to see some famous authors that everybody's going to know, and some authors that you might not know. So let's check it out. I cannot pass up Stephen King. I literally just saw this movie not that long ago. It's called The Long Walk. I enjoyed the movie. If you haven't seen it, essentially you basically walk until you die, and the last one standing gets a wish granted. He wrote this as Richard Bachman back in the day, but I want to read the book after seeing the movie. The movie was amazing. I loved it, so I got the book. Then I got James Rollins. Jesus. This is the large print edition. This is what you get when you go blind and get old. The letters are humongous, which I'm going to enjoy, but man, this book is heavy. And this is called Tides of Fire. I always enjoy his books. They're action-packed, they move real fast. Me and my wife actually read one of his books together. We enjoyed it, so. Never read anything from Laura Lippman. This is called Prom Mom. I'm actually kind of excited to read this. And again, large print edition. Something many of you are going to have to get when you get older like me. And this is Amber Glass has spent her entire life, adult life, putting as much distance as possible between her and her hometown of Baltimore, where she fears she will forever be known as Prom Mom, the girl who allegedly killed the newborn baby that no one knew about, especially not her date, Joe Simpson. But when circumstances bring Amber back to the city, she realizes she can have a second chance, as long as she stays away from Joe, now a married, successful commercial real estate developer. The problem is, Amber can't stay away from Joe, and Joe finds that it's increasingly hard for him to ignore Amber. Against the surreal backdrop of 2020, make it sound like so damn far behind, and early 2021, the two are slowly drawn to each other and eventually cross the line they've been trying not to cross. And then Joe asks Amber to help him do the unthinkable. I'm excited about this one. Then I got from Josiah Lynn, I hope I'm saying that name right, From Whom the Bella Tolls. B-E-L-L-E. I don't know if that's Bell or Bella Tolls. Thought I'd give it a chance. Sounds kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. Douglas Preston. I've read a couple of his books, but he usually writes with someone else. I'm just not remembering the author. And it's usually pretty good books, so we'll give him a chance. See how he does by himself. Now, this one is another one that was turned into a movie, and I really enjoyed it. It was The Gray Man, and I just wanted to check out the book. Mark Greaney. Like I said, there's a lot of books, so relax. Nancy Bush, The Psycho. Oh, The Psychic, sorry. That looks like a no. See, I'm telling you, I'm blind. I'm getting old. This looks pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see what it says. Sometimes a bad feeling creeps over Veronica quick. It happened on her 10th birthday when a voice filled her head. Don't go in the water. That day, she nearly drowned while swimming with her friends, one of whom was seriously injured. Since then, Ronnie has tried to turn off her premonitions. After all, not every vision comes true. She made a fool of herself before, predicting things that didn't transpire, and she's still shaken by disturbing images tied to that day at the pond. But this new vision is different. This one won't be ignored. There's a clearing in the woods and a woman strangled to death, her hands bloody and torn. The body is found just as Ronnie predicted, and suddenly she's seeing glimpses of her victims, even as she clashes with a skeptical police detective from her past. But Ronnie sees just enough to know there's a killer out there, stalking, strangling, circling everyone she knows in an ever-tightening web. But it's the part that she doesn't yet see that is the most terrifying. This is up my alley, so give it a try. Lynn Barclay, Whistle. This is large print edition too. Another large print edition. I'm sorry, I'm going so blind. I need these large print editions. After 30 years of friendship, Pam dreams of her perfect retirement with Nancy, Shalisa, Marlene, and their husbands, until their husbands pool their funds for an investment that goes terribly wrong. Suddenly, their golden years are looking as dreary as marriages. Oh, God. This is going to be depressing because now I'm going to be thinking about all the financial crises we have now. All right. What's next? Man, what the heck is it doing here? All right. Samantha Downing, For Your Own Good. Looks pretty good. I had to get this one because this kept popping up on my internet. So I'm going to get it. Jeffrey Dever, The Watchmaker's Hand, another large print edition. All right. This one I'm taking a chance on. I'm giving him a second chance. This is Clive Cussler, another large print edition. Condor's Fury. I read one of his books before, and it was so boring that I DNF'd it. I mean, I DNF'd it quick. Within like the first 60 pages, I hated the book. I don't remember what the name was, but I hated it that bad, to the point where I basically banned any Clive Cussler book after that. Even his movies. I think Matthew McConaughey did one of his movies. I think it was Sahara or something like that. I didn't even want to see that movie. I still haven't seen it. But I'm going to give him a chance. One more chance. See if he could make it up to me. All right. Oh, this is actually a book. I thought it was a comic book. All right. Marvel. This is Loki, Journey into the Mystery. I love Loki. So I thought it was actually a comic book. Like how Chuck, I always screw his name up. The guy who wrote Fight Club. Chuck Palahniuk. Fight Club 2 and 3 are comic books. I thought this was going to be a comic book, but it's a real book. Box number 2. Jane and Dan at the End of the World by Colleen Oakley. Jane and Dan have been married for 19 years. Me and my wife have been married for 12. But Jane isn't sure they're going to make it to 20. She feels unneeded by her teenagers. Her one published novel has sold under 5,000 copies, and she's pretty sure Dan is cheating on her. Arriving at a renowned restaurant, La Fin du Monde, to celebrate the anniversary, Jane thinks it's time to ask for a divorce. But before they even get to the second course, a climate activist group bursts into the room. Jane is shocked, and not just because she's in a movie-style hostage situation. Nearly everything the disorganized activists say and do is right out of the pages of her failed book, which means Jane and Dan are the only ones who know what's going to happen next. And they're the only ones who can stop it if they can survive this. Maybe they can survive anything, even marriage. No, they can't survive marriage. She's sure anything about divorce, they're getting divorced. The Living Dead, a new novel. George Romero. Oh, man. I love this book. I mean, not love the book. I haven't read it yet, but George Romero, he's a genius. The only reason I said, oh, man, is the front cover is all ripped up. I hate that. What are you going to do? Everybody in the world loves it, apparently, though. Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. Clive Barker. I just read a Clive Barker book, and I'm going to do the review on it. I was actually shocked. It's God tier, I'm telling you. And I was thinking it was going to be a horror book based on the cover itself, but actually it turned out to be like a YA book, almost like Alice in Wonderland. It was kind of like a weird book where this girl just ends up in like a weird fantasy world. It was an amazing book. You'll see when I do my review. Paul Tremblay, he's hit or miss with me. And someone else, but I can't read it because they put a damn sticker over it. So, we'll see. I don't think you can go wrong with George Romero. So, honestly, I thought he was dead. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. You can never go wrong with Neil Gaiman. This book is very short, though. It's only about 240 pages, but I love me some Neil Gaiman. Yeah. I actually think my wife was looking into something about this book, and I think she hated it for some reason. I didn't realize I bought this book. The Ministry of Time. In the near future, a civil servant begins work on a highly confidential project. A government ministry is gathering expats from across history to discover whether time travel is feasible for the human body, but also for the fabric of time, space-time. She will act as a bridge, living with, assisting, and monitoring the expat known as 1847, or Commander Graham Gore, who, as far as history is concerned, died on Sir John Franklin's doomed 1845 expedition to the Arctic. But as the bridge acquaints Gore with modern concepts such as washing machines, Spotify, and the collapse of the British Empire, she finds herself falling fervently in love with consequences that she never could have imagined. Yeah, I thought it sounded interesting. I think my wife hated the idea of this book for some reason. I don't know. Killing Mr. Griffin. Yeah, just the name of it caught my attention, so why not? Give it a chance. On to the next box. Only 2 books. All right, Lisa Jackson's Lost Souls. I think I have a couple of the books, I'm not sure. And Lovecraft Country. I've been dying to read this for a long time, and I finally found it on the Book Outlet. So those are the books I got from Book Outlet. Now, just as a bonus for you guys, I'm going to show you some other books I've recently purchased. Here goes some other books I've actually bought from Book Outlet not that long ago. It's only a couple. Seth C. Adams, If You Go Down Into the Woods. Robert Krayas, The Monkey's Raincoat. And Mir Grant, Blackout. Now, the problem with this one is I can't read it until I read the first book. I didn't realize it was part of a trilogy. So the first book is called Feed. I have to read that book before I can even get to this one. Now, I'm going to show you some books I picked up from a place called Half Price Books in Sacramento. My wife loves that store. She can't wait for it to be my birthday so we can go back up there. You could trade in books. They give you dollar amounts for those books, and you can use it as a credit for other books. So these are the books I picked up last time. She Left by Stacey Gray. These 3 books by Isaac Asimov. I will never pass up a chance to pick up some Isaac Asimov. This book is really cool because one side is The Ugly Little Boy, right? Then you flip it to the other side, upside down, you got another book. The Widget, The Wadget, and Boff, right? I just love these books. This is how they used to do books back in the day. It's freaking awesome. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. By the way, if I'm saying the names of the authors wrong, I'm sorry, but some names are hard to say. The Darkness, Ragnar Jonasson. Again, like I said before, I'm never going to pass up Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, Smoke and Mirrors, love his writing, so I'm pretty sure that book's going to be aces. The Girl in the Ice, this sounded pretty good. When a young boy discovers the body of a woman beneath a thick sheet of ice in South London Park, Detective Erica Foster is called in to lead the murder investigation. The victim, a beautiful young socialite, appeared to have the perfect life. Yet, when Erica begins to dig deeper, she starts to connect the dots between the murder and the killing of 3 prostitutes, all found strangled, hand-bound, and dumped in water around London. What the dark secrets is the girl in the ice hiding. As Erica inches closer to uncovering the truth, the killer is closing in on Erica, but will she get to him before he strikes again? So we'll see. I found this one to be kind of interesting. I've always known John Grisham to write like books about court cases and stuff like that, you know. But this one is like a little kid lawyer. So I found it to be kind of interesting. I just want to try it. It's Theodore Boone, kid lawyer. Might as well try it, you know. And then we got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Holly Jackson. These next books we got from a place called Friends of the Library in Stockton. I just finished reading this one. I will be posting a book review real soon on this one. It's called Shutter by Melissa Larson. Caught Stealing by Charlie Houston. The Sandman by Lars Kepler. I'm actually dying to read this one. He's Sweden's most prolific serial killer. Jurek Walter is serving a life sentence. Kept in solitary confinement, he is still considered extremely dangerous by psychiatric staff. He'll lull you into a sense of calm. Michael, known as the Sandman, 7 years ago, he was taken from his bed along with his sister. They've both been presumed dead. He has one target left. When Michael is discovered on a railway line close to death, the hunt begins for his sister. To get to the truth, Detective Inspector Juna Lena will need to get closer than ever to the man who stripped him of his life, of his family. The man who wants Lena dead. Sounds amazing. David Balducci, The 620 Man. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. Brad Meltzer, The Fifth Assassin. Okay, these next two we got from a place called Midnight's Bookstore. I did not know Douglas Adams wrote another book that's like a sequel to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's called The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. What I love about this is it's a throwback to the pocketbooks. You rarely see these anymore. I love this. First off, I was going to buy it just because it's a sequel. Secondly, the fact that it's a pocketbook, aces. Then I got Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. I've been dying to watch the movie, but now that I have the novel, I'm going to probably read this before I watch the movie. And finally, my last 2 books, I believe one was bought on Amazon. This one was definitely bought at Target. These 2 were God tier books. That's all I can tell you. Killers of a Certain Age. I already did a review on this. You can go check it out. God tier. And Frederick Bachman, Beartown. God tier. So those are all the books I purchased of late. Let me know in the comments below. Have you read any of these? What you thought about them? And next time I buy more books, we'll do another unboxing. Until then, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.